Well, officials are getting a closer look at just how bad the damage is from the horrendous flooding in Whatcom County. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Rose.
I'm Aliana Gomez. Today, elected leaders discussed updates and flood response efforts and what's needed to help the recovery. Fox 13 News reporter Frankie Thompson joins us live with details on their assessment so far. Frankie, what are you learning?
Aliana, now that high waters have receded, officials say there is so much more damage than anticipated, including several roads and bridges like this one that are closed until the damages from the flooding are fixed. Officials say it's going to take some time to determine exactly what is needed to help Whatcom County recover. The 2021 flood from the Nooksack River was unlike anything many have ever seen in Whatcom County. More than 300 people were displaced, properties and homes destroyed.
4 feet of water in your kitchen, you can imagine it's not just water, it's all the debris, all the silt, everything else sitting in every nook and cranny and your driveway and everything else.
Elected officials are getting updates on flood response efforts from communities across the county. The Emergency Management Deputy Director says preliminary damage assessments are already indicating record numbers.
We do know from past events, and we do know from the level of damage that we're going to be well above the 1990 flood, and that was in the $25 million range. I would not be surprised to see the total here end up in the I would not be surprised to see it at 50 million.
He says those estimates are still early, since so many places damaged by the high waters have not been assessed yet, like roads, public properties, and businesses.
One of the other issues on the damage assessment, though, is the impact to the dairy industry. There's a company which produces 80% of all the dairy feed in western Washington and lower mainland British Columbia, which was essentially had all their infrastructure taken offline and destroyed.
Congresswoman Susan Delbene says she's working with local, county, and state leaders on a plan to secure FEMA assistance toward their current recovery and beyond.
Unfortunately, we're seeing these events more often, and that means that the community has been at greater risk, and we've got to look at that, and when we look at kind of making sure what the long-term plan is to help keep the community safe.
She says the plan for some of those federal dollars would be to improve infrastructure, reducing the risk of severe flooding like this. But the focus right now is just helping as many people as possible get back on their feet.
Bringing some kind of semblance to their life. The kids have to go to school, people have to go to work, and they have their own chores to take care of that.
Officials say while damage assessments continue, they will send a request for federal assistance to the state. Governor Jay Inslee will then have to make a declaration to the president for those funds to be approved to help Whatcom County. Reporting live in Bellingham, Frankie Thompson, Fox 13 News.